Welcome back for Something Like a Podcast. I am Alan Swoom.
And I am the one RM. This is episode 9.
Already 9.
Yes. And trust and believe episode 10 is going to blow your mind. Yeah.
Your mind.
But we're on episode 9, so you have something about LeVar Ball.
Yeah, LeVar Ball, dude.
Okay.
This dude, I think he just talks to himself talk.
Okay.
So he came out and said his son, Lonzo Ball, his team this year is going to win the chip.
Okay.
No. They're a great talented team. I feel they're built young. They have a lot to learn, but they're going to give some teams fits this year. But a championship? No, not yet.
No, they're not going to win a championship. And I followed LeVar Ball when Lonzo was first drafted. Even before Lonzo was drafted, he always talked smack. He said Lonzo was better than Steph Curry. He said he was going to take the Lakers to the championship. So he just talked smack to talk smack. But
I like to have some of what he's drinking because I really need something like
right.
that.
But you're a Pelicans fan. So where do you think the Pelicans will place in the Western Conference?
I would say, what do you mean, like in the end? Like in the end of the
well, at
the
least
division?
like, do you think they'll go to the playoffs?
Yes, I would say either the 7th or the 8th seed. Easy.
Okay.
Because they're so much talented. They got that guy Alexander. I can't say his whole name.
Right,
the cousin of the one that got traded in the deal. He's a sleeper. He was a sleeper coming into the draft last year. Then they got they got a lot of talent and a lot of big guys that's young that's going to develop together. Now the issue that I see with this is they drafted great. That I could see that's going to happen in the future is that the Pelicans is definitely going to do something.
I think the Pelicans will do something. I think the Pelicans are going to be very exciting, but
it's going to be hard to keep all these good players though. You're going to have to pick and choose who you want at the end of all this.
Right. So off air we were just talking about this. Reminded me of OKC when they drafted Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and James Harden. 3 outstanding. All 3 of them are MVPs. So before they got to that point, they had to come up with a decision. Who are we going to keep and who are we going to let go?
I would have kept Harden. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, but if we had a crystal ball, we could have seen that James Harden would turn into the James Harden that he turned into.
I just had a feeling like I was pretty much saying that James Harden's going to be good.
Yeah. But the Pelicans might have to cross that bridge, sooner or later because you have Lonzo Ball.
Yep. You got Josh Hart that might even do.
Josh Hart's good. Brandon Ingram, of course, Zion Williamson, and they still got Drew Holiday. But I'm talking about those 3.
Contract. Yeah,
so the 3 I'm looking at is Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson. So I haven't kept up with the Pelicans that much, but I'm thinking about Lonzo Ball because I feel like Lonzo Ball, he's going to be the point guard, so the keys are really in his hands.
Yeah, you're going to have to trade Drew Holiday eventually because he is the
He could. That's a good piece to bait.
That's what I'm saying. Even though if you're in the playoff hunt, I know Holiday. People be like, "Oh my God, no!" But at the end of the day, you can get probably some draft capital. Mm-hmm. Then you can go out there maybe get some younger prospects again. They are fruitful with young talent, with a young core they're starting to build. Everybody's been talking about them. That's why we're talking about them because of the way that the roster is pre-construction right now. It's going to be good. But the issue is going to happen with David Griffin, the general manager of the Pelicans, is who is he going to keep and who is he going to let go? And I'm forgetting one guy's name right now. I'm going to look it up. Okay. He came into this year's draft as well that the Pelicans drafted. They'll high on him too. He can also do something.
So with the Pelicans, I'll say this. I don't see any inside presence. I don't see any inside scoring. It's really going to be a lot of guard play. What's the player's
Jackson
name?
Hayes.
Okay, I've never heard of him.
I think he's from Texas Tech.
What position does he play?
He plays center.
How tall is he?
He is...
Does it say?
It does not say.
Well, I would imagine, playing center, he's at least 6'11" to 7 feet.
Yes, he's actually, I found it. He is 6'11", 222 pounds, and his school was Texas. Like
okay,
I said,
Texas.
Yeah.
So he's tall and lanky to be 220, and you're 6'11". So that reminds me of maybe a young Anthony Davis build, because Anthony Davis is 6'11".
They'll hire him. He was drafted by the Hawks, but but the Pelicans had the pick.
Okay.
He was the 8th pick. Remember, I think they had three first rounders, and he was one of them. Zion was 1, he was 8, and then that Alexander kid was the 3rd one.
So they have a lot of pieces,
and I'm hyped for it just because of guys. All the New Orleans fans out there, they're going to win the championship, just not right now. They're just too young. They need to clash together. They have not played together ever. This is the first year that they're going to be together.
Okay. Now, you're like a lot of fans. You really put a lot of stock in your team. But I'm going to say this. Right now, it's a race between maybe, we'll just say the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Both LA teams, the Nuggets, and a lot of people are high on Utah. LeBron James is at the end of his
prime.
He's still good.
He's still there,
but he might have good 3-4 years left.
Maybe 5, depending on if he can stay healthy. That's going to distinguish that.
But this is what I'm saying in kind of to go against the Pelicans reaching that promised land. With all these teams, and they're getting better. They're getting a lot better.
That's what I just said.
I like the Pelicans. But I just don't see that inside presence unless this guy that you just told me about
develops Jackson Hayes.
So I don't know if he's an offensive player or defensive player. I don't
know too much about him.
So
either.
that
I'm
remains
still
to be seen.
I don't follow a lot of college basketball. I know he put numbers up. He did in the summer league. He dunked on somebody over the shoulders. It was It was sexy. But he has potential. All these players that I'm naming right now have great potential. If they all fall into line, it's going to be hard to keep all of them now. That's the thing that David Griffin's going to have to come to light with eventually. Obviously, Zion Williams ain't going anywhere.
They're going to sell the farm to keep him.
Exactly. They're going to keep him. But the thing is, the pieces around him that's still up in the air.
Right.
I would keep Ball no matter what, though, because he's a good defensive presence.
But I'll say this. He's in a great position because he has these young players and he has time to really like watch and
blossom.
Scout. Yeah, that too. So if someone doesn't fit, like let's say Brandon Ingram doesn't fit, get him out of there.
That's David Griffin can trade him for more draft capital, maybe another prospect that
because
does
he's
fit.
still young.
He's still young, but these guys play together as a Laker. You got Josh Hart, you got Lonzo Ball,
right?
You got also Brandon Ingram. All these guys play together. So that's the only guys that play together. Everybody else has not played together.
But see, that's the thing about a lot of these teams. So a lot of people, I had someone come in the other day and I told him I was a Lakers fan. And of course I'm getting trolled because they're saying the Clippers are the best team in LA. So the same thing. I'll give this to the Clippers.
I think they're tied in some aspects.
Okay, but this is what I'm going to say. So on paper, you might say the Clippers. And because they've already played a full season together, they just added to really.
And the benches, I'm gonna be honest with you, the bench is a little bit more deeper than the Lakers on some aspects. But listen though, this is my counter argument. But if Dwight Howard can have a great season and keep his attitude out of the locker room, I think the Lakers is gonna surprise a lot of people.
Well, see, that was my point. I say the NBA and sports in general, it's about matchups. I remember when I played basketball. And we had beat this team. And there was another team that beat a team we couldn't beat. And the coach said, just because they beat a team that we couldn't beat doesn't mean they'll beat us because it's about matchups.
It is.
The NBA, the same thing. We have 3 great people on the front line. I wouldn't say great. One great, Anthony Davis. Dwight Howard's been proven to be a defensive stopper. And JaVale McGee's going to give you his blood and sweat. He might mess up here and there, but he's going to play hard.
He's a good bench piece.
Okay. Yeah. The Clippers don't have that. They have one.
I like
Harold.
Harold, but I want
Zubac.
Zubac. That's what I'm about to say.
But in contrast to what we have, I don't think it matches up. Who's going to guard Anthony Davis?
Nobody. You can't guard him. He's unguardable. But I'm saying this, but the thing is, Paul George, like I said, is like we just talked about on the earlier episode, Paul George is still good, but like I said, he's gonna start tailing off. But the thing is, you only can cover one of those superstars. And guess who's gonna cover? Guess what the defense gonna look at? Leonard. That's gonna open it up for George and everybody else that's on that team right there. That's why a lot of people saying that the Clippers, because even with double coverage on
we don't need that, and I'm gonna tell you why we don't.
On Leno, I'm talking about on the Clippers.
Okay.
That's gonna open up for. I just couldn't get it out. I had a needle.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
everybody else is gonna open up, and the court's gonna open up for other players, especially these young guys that they have nursing over the last year and a half. That yes, they did play together last year, all year. So you're definitely gonna see that, but. At the end of the day, I will say that the Lakers would definitely overthrow the Clippers in Los Angeles.
Okay, so I give you this. I would start off with single coverage because we have interior defense. So let Kawhi shoot. Don't let him in the lane.
Oh, he's gonna peel you apart one by one.
But that's what I'm saying. We have Dwight Howard down there. We got AD roaming down there. And then either one of them get tired or foul trouble, then we still got JaVale McGee coming in. So our inside presence defensively
I just want
tough.
DeMarcus Cousins, man. If you guys just imagine if you had DeMarcus Cousins, McGee,
that'd be a super problem.
and Howard. You guys, it'll be hands down on paper, on everything. If you had Cousins, Howard, and McGee.
Well,
Because McGee can play power forward. You can even stick Cousins at power forward. You can put him at center. You can also stick Dwight Howard at center or power forward, depending on the matchups.
right.
So they can play both positions.
They can. But I wanted to get into something else, and it has to do with the Pelicans really brought this, because I was watching something on TV.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a businessman
Mm-hmm.
and you had to pick against someone that's going to fill the seats, let's say a Vince Carter or Allen Iverson, because of their game, they're going to fill the seats.
I was a fan of Iverson. I did like him.
So you have a player who's going to fill the seats, but you have a boring player like Tim Duncan that's going to win you a ring. Who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Tim Duncan because I want that ring. Because getting that ring, it could bring more fans to the game. People that's just learning the game of basketball.
But I'll give you this though. So there was a series between the San Antonio Spurs and the Detroit Pistons. I forget what year it was. NBA Finals.
I was a little scrum snatcher, so I wouldn't even know.
Well, they said this was the worst NBA Finals ever. Like, the ratings were terrible because there were no stars. You had Tim Duncan, he's a great player, best power forward of all time, but he's boring to watch. The Pistons, they were just like a gritty team. They were boring to watch. So all that money left on the table because, you get a lot of money from television. So as a businessman, that's what I'm saying. And I'm playing the devil's advocate because, to be real with you, I'd probably go with the championship too. But there's probably a lot of people who say, no, give me Iverson because he's going to sell. And Iverson can take you to the finals. He's done it before.
But he never won a ring.
Yeah, but still.
He deserved the ring.
He's selling jerseys. He's doing commercials. He's just like this big iconic figure. So a lot of people might say, okay, let me get that guy who's going to fill the seats, who's going to do these 360 dunks, between the leg dunks. And that's why I thought about Zion Williamson. He's selling, and this was the argument that I had with another person. Anthony Davis came into the league. We all knew he was good, going to be great, but he just didn't have that appeal. Zion Williamson, look, people are going crazy over Zion.
So that's what I'm thinking, that the draft lottery was a little bit scripted because of
it could have been.
They knew
I know
it was because they knew that.
Have you heard about the cold card?
No, that's new to me.
The cold card, 1985. Correct me if I'm wrong. Patrick Ewing was going to be the number 1 overall pick.
I know about Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
A little bit, but continue.
Okay. So back in the day, how did they do it now? It's like ping pong balls or something?
Ping pong balls, and they just pick. Oh, that's the team that's drafted. Oh, that's the team that's drafted. Oh, that's the team that's drafted next.
Okay.
Basically, just keep going as they keep
now, I think that's
them
flawed too. But this one, and this is a conspiracy theory, but it's just kind of juicy, so I want to talk about it.
Kind of juicy.
So what they used to do is they would have envelopes, and they would just put their hand in there and go
around and
try
around.
So the New York Knicks envelope was put in the freezer. So all the other cards are warm. So once you feel that cold card, oh, this is the Knicks card. Knicks have the number 1 pick.
Maybe
they got Patrick Ewing.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. With this, going by to what I was just saying, is the NBA knew that Zion Williamson would definitely be the next big thing. So they was like, okay, maybe because New Orleans was kind of was not being as a big thing anymore, even if with Anthony Davis, just because of he wasn't he reminded a little bit of Tim Duncan. Yeah, Tim Duncan. Well, he's great to play, but he wasn't doing a spectacular thing. Look what Zion did for Duke. All those things. So maybe there's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's endorsements.
That's what I'm saying.
All that stuff's coming in
because they know that they was not getting a lot of revenue down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I'll say,
but I agree with that, and I also think that the NBA, as a severance package or whatever you want to call it, knew that AD kind of did them dirty. He kind of did the Pelicans dirty.
He kind of did.
He kind of just fell back, and so to say, okay, y'all lost AD, at least here, get Zion.
That's what I'm saying.
Because everybody thought he was going to New York. They had the worst record. I don't know what was the projection for the Pelicans pick, but
that thing is scripted. I hate it. They should go off of the actual records of the team, like baseball does, like football does. I know everybody likes it because the team can tank. Like look at the Miami Dolphins, for example. I know we get off on the tangent, but it's the truth. They'll tank it. They traded the best safety to the Steelers. They got all this draft capital now. They have traded Tussle to the Texans. They traded Stills to the Texans, the same deal to get all this draft capital. So that's what a lot of people say. Oh, they can tank it. But the thing is, when you do something like that, would you rather take the scripted? Because you know it's freaking scripted.
Yeah.
Or rather you take something where I'd rather take the tanking over the scripting. You know why? Because my Panthers been through a lot, especially in 2011 season when we went 2-15. That was hard to watch for me. But as I continue learning about the game and the sport, that hey, we got a shot for the number 1 overall pick. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, I understand.
That's exciting because you get a chance to say who are we going to get, who's going to be the next franchise player, because you can't miss on those picks. But going by what you're saying is that the NBA is scripted all across the board when it comes to that. They need to stop that and adapt the actual record to who has the worst record should get the picks for fall in line from that.
But I'm going to tell you why. Because like we just said, the NBA and all sports organizations, they're about the bottom dollar.
They're just about the money, yes.
So the Lakers, we were projected to be, 10th or 12th? We moved all the way up to number 4 or 5 in the draft. So that's what I'm saying. They probably do these things. So that's why I'm surprised about the Knicks, but I'm not surprised because a lot of people do not like the owner of the Knicks. They can't stand him.
That's why I think Williamson didn't go there.
Exactly.
They knew that if the Pelicans got the number 1 overall pick, they knew who they was going to select. They knew that Williamson is not going to drop number 2 to where the Knicks was picking.
Yeah, but see, that's
New
York fans
Barrett,
and I felt bad for. RJ Barrett's gonna be good,
but I don't.
He's not going to be like, in my opinion, he's not.
I just wish he didn't. I know to the New York fans, they're starving for something. They need a new owner. Point blank and simple. They
tried to push him out. He's not going. He's not budging. He's like a stubborn old mule. I'm not going anywhere. Unless they dig up something like they
love
did.
it though. But they love it though. If you remember the RJ Barrett, I saw a lot of this draft this past year because all this talent there. I'm trying to learn the game a little bit more.
Right.
So I was watching it, and when they said, the pick is in and it's RJ Barrett, the whole thing, the whole place almost erupted.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you feel sorry for the fans. I'm happy for the fans because, like I said, I am high on Barrett, but who's gonna have a better career? I would say Williamson, hands down. But I think Barrett is not gonna be too far behind that.
He's not. But what I was saying was in the aspect of drawing in the fans and drawing in the money and selling the jerseys.
Yeah, that's not.
So that's why I kind of felt bad. New York has been bad for I don't know how long, man.
But maybe depends on how Barrett plays. Maybe his jersey might bring in the dough.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. He's going to have to, show improve.
He has to improve in some of his game. I know that.
So it's not to cut you off, but it's no different than Kobe Bryant. Before Kobe Bryant came to the league, there was a little buzz, but it wasn't like that. And then he just T-Mac was another one. When he came in, he was drafted 9th overall, little splash. But when he went to Orlando, he just blew up. It's not like an Iverson. People knew when Iverson and Shaq. When they came into the league, we already knew, okay, they're going to take over the league. But you got these other players like I said.
Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker was not drafted low, like a top pick.
Yeah.
He fell to the Hornets. look what he did. He didn't really blossom until almost the last 2 years of his current deal with the Hornets. And that's another thing, too, that we can get into is that Michael Jordan botched that. I would do anything in my power to keep Kemba Walker.
Listen,
that was your only person there.
Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
But he needs to stop managing the team.
Yes, because he's shown. Like, when he was in charge with the Wizards and he drafted Kwame Brown, that might be one of the biggest busts of all time. Oh, number 1 overall.
You can't miss on those.
Terrible.
Like I told you that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And he's showing this now with the way. And this is on him. This is his own team. He can do whatever he wants with Charlotte.
They're never going to win a championship. I'm sorry for all the Charlotte fans out there that they're never going to win a championship. You need a owner. If he should just stick with the business, like off the business part when it comes to running the team.
And not
he should
hands on with the talent.
No, he should just give off with that. Just sign the damn checks. Give a GM on there. Give somebody at the GM position. Say, hey, I'm giving you control on how you control it.
Right.
I'm just going to sign the checks, but just know if you make crap on this court, you're fired.
But see, that's the right thing to do. But you have to understand, Michael Jordan knows he's the greatest player of all time, so he has an ego. Oh, I'm great.
He needs to bring his ego down.
He does.
Because you're not going to go nowhere.
Listen.
You're going to lose money because of now you have nobody to fill those seats. I'll be honest with you. I'm just still learning the game of basketball. I really never followed it. But if I'm living in Charlotte right now, only way that I'll go see a game for the Hornets is if Kemba Walker was still a Hornet. That's the way that the seats would get filled. You got nobody there right now. There's no superstar. You got nobody there. You know, you got a lot of potential small guys like P.J. Washington, but that's still up in the air because I don't even know who this guy is. So it's like, you know, you got all this potential here with all this talent that's on the team, but
okay, so like we just stated, there are some owners who are in it for how much money they can generate. And there's players like this too. They'll go sign a big contract knowing I'm going to go play for the Phoenix Suns or I'm going to play for the Charlotte Hornets because I can get a big check. They don't care about a championship. They could care less. They just want to make as much money as they can.
I go there, but also I'm going to tell you now, the Hornets are going to have a disappointing season. They'll be lucky even if they get 15 wins. So they're definitely going to be up for the first overall pick this year. So I wouldn't be shocked if somebody's coming out of the draft next year that's a little similar to Zion that can bring somebody. I wouldn't be shocked if the league says, Michael Jordan, no, here you go.
I'm going to tell you why. Because when Anthony Davis, what were they, the Bobcats back then?
Yeah.
It was 1 year, I just read this not too long ago. It was 1 year the Bobcats were the worst team of like all time. Like their record was terrible. Everyone thought they were going to get Anthony Davis. Everyone. And what happened? They didn't get the first overall pick.
Why do you think that the league would
it's the same reason
disrespect Charlotte like that? Charlotte's starving for something.
They are.
You got to give them something.
But what's a bigger market, Charlotte or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Okay. And I'll say this one thing about Michael Jordan. They played Michael Jordan crazy. So after he retired from the Bulls, they said, look, Michael Jordan, if you come play for the Washington Wizards, we'll give you stock or you can have some type of, like high management position. But you have to play first. So he does that. And what happens? They get rid of him. So they just used him. Michael Jordan comes in, puts on the Wizards jersey. Everybody's coming to the games. Again, it's capital. You sell jerseys, popcorn, all this type of stuff because of his name. But then when it's time for you to
pay up,
then you back out and you say, oh, no, you got to go. So Michael Jordan owns his own team now. He can do whatever he wants. He could have signed Kemba Walker for a nice deal and got some other pieces.
I would have.
So who's going to, like I said, now who's going to go there now? A player that wants to win a championship? Exactly.
Because Kemba's not there now. He's in Boston, and I still like Kemba. Kemba was. I grew up watching Kemba a lot even before he came to this.
Right.
To the superstar light. So I'm hoping for the best for him in Boston, but in Charlotte though, you have all these fans that are starving for something. You got to give them something. Michael Jordan botched this. He shouldn't have. He should have kept Kemba Walker. If I owned the Charlottes, I would not let Kemba walk out that door without signing his name to my contract. I don't give a crap. I would have gave him $150 million. He got what, like 140? I'll give him 150. Give him 6 years. How about that? Stay. You ain't going nowhere.
Right. But to your point, so we've all heard about these free agents and where they might go. So when Kevin, who was free agents this year?
Kevin Durant. I would not sign him.
But no. But listen to what I'm saying.
His Achilles.
Okay, I would still Come on, man.
But the thing is, the Achilles is hard to come back from. That's one of the hardest injuries to come back from. He's still gonna be good, but how much pressure can you? Because now you're that area is a little tender, even with the repair.
But what happened in the NBA Finals when he came back, knowing he was on fire when he came back? I'm
not questioning his talent.
That's what I'm saying. But we know other players who've come back and they've dominated after the Achilles tear. So they're doing everything they can. How he's got a whole year off pretty much.
But you have to think that it's gonna be in the back of his mind if I land it wrong, is it gonna pop
he's
out again?
He's got to get past that.
That's what I'm saying.
Rose had to get past that.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people think look at Ryan Howard, for example. He tore his Achilles in that playoff loss as he's trying to run to first base. The dude was never the same again. He still had some 20 home runs, but he was the same like he was, because he probably saying, okay, if I swing wrong, that could. It's because it's all a mind game.
I get that, but this is why I'm saying I don't want to get off subject.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're trying to stay on subject.
This is what I'm saying with Kevin Durant. I don't know what injury Derrick Rose had. It was a
ACL. He had a lot of injuries. So he can't name them all of them.
But he was a penetrator. Kevin Durant can pull up from damn near half court.
You're right.
All he has to do is give you one little move. He doesn't have to, use all that force to get his shot. Kevin Durant says he's 6'9", he's 7. He's probably 7'1".
That's what I'm saying. So the thing is, he's the tallest small forward I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he's got a wet shot.
That's what I'm saying. So he'll be good. It's just the fact is that he's going to have to get out of his own head, because if he does have to dunk, you can't think, okay, is it going to pop again?
Okay, but I'm getting off subject, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah, let's move on, guys.
But what I was asking was, let's name the top 5 free agents from this previous year. Kyrie Irving.
Yep. Durant.
Who else?
Kemba
Walker. Who else?
I can't. I'm trying to remember. Oh,
Kawhi Leonard.
You about to say that?
Let's just use those 4.
Yeah.
We already had an idea where they were going to go, right? Mm-hmm. Kawhi Leonard had an idea. He's had 3 teams, right? It was going to be the Lakers, the Clippers, or he's going to go back to Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you got Kevin Durant, who said, I might stay with Golden State. I might go to the Knicks. I might go with Brooklyn. My point is this. No one said anything about Charlotte.
Nope.
So Michael Jordan, knowing he's probably got a lot of cap space. Well, no one wants to come here, so I should sign Kemba back. I have no options. Nobody wants to come here.
That's what I'm saying.
So sign what you got.
So you boshed it.
Yes.
So again, I don't care what people think. I'm calling Jordan out. He boshed this. Point blank, period. Boshed it. Now you're not going to have no revenue coming in. A lot of people just came to watch the team because guess what? Kemba Walker is fun to watch.
He is.
Even I watched a lot of Sports Center at nighttime when Kemba Walker was in Charlotte. So I was watching a lot of his highlights because again, you can't get Charlotte games here and where you and I is located. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if we was close down to Charlotte, I would turn that TV on to watch a Charlotte Hornets game. Why? Kemba Walker's fun to watch. I love the way he goes to the basket, the way he drives, the way that he puts the ball up. Foul!
Right,
and one.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is he doesn't have none of that now. Jordan, he messed up. So he's going to see his pockets start to dwindle this season.
But at the same time, Jordan is making so much money off his sneakers and
who
Hanes
cares
and
about
Gatorade.
That?
But that's what I'm saying. He probably doesn't care.
He's an idiot because the thing is, listen though, because you got a team, a team that's there now. You own a team. You own a franchise.
I don't know if he's an idiot, but Jordan's very smart. I understand like his business.
I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with his business
and I'm
decisions.
sure a lot of fans feel the same way.
But that's what I'm saying.
If he's not giving someone a max contract, all that money is staying in his pocket.
He's stingy. Like, come on. Like, thing is, you want to fill your job as an owner is you want to fill your arena or your football field, baseball field, or whatever sport that we're talking. You want to fill that area with fans. And the way to do that is if you have talented all-star players or talented players that are not boring, that are fun to watch.
Yes. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. That was interesting.
That was really interesting. I really loved that one.
So I had this idea about self-development.
Okay.
And what brought me to this was really listening to some people talk about their relationships. And so you do videos, right?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been doing it?
What film wise?
Yeah.
I've been a filmmaker since I was. Well, I think it's been over like 5 years, 6 years now.
Okay.
I started doing it even before I met my business partner, and I was just doing it a little bit with my cousins using just an iPhone. Again, for you filmmakers out there, you don't need the biggest expensive camera there. You can make something out of a tin can if you know what you're doing.
Okay, so when you first started doing it, how do you think it looked?
It looked good for somebody that's starting out, but it could have got better though.
But you kept at it.
I kept that. Yeah, I still keep it. Even though now we got a lot of stuff coming up, so it's kind of I can't wait. So I just like I said, I'm hyped for it. It's just all about when you want to do something and you're passionate about it. You keep going regardless of how crappy it looks or how. You never say that it's crap, or you never say that it's not looking good. You always say
it just needs work.
It just needs work. All you say is, "Hey, it looks good to me." I need to continue developing because it does have some rough on the edges. You just keep going, and more stuff that you do, what you're trying to do, you get better at it.
Well, that's my whole point. And I'm gonna tell a quick story about me playing the piano. Now, I remember I was living out right around the corner. This was like 11 years ago. And I was talking to one of the groundskeepers, and he found that I did music. And he did music. And he said, well, no matter what you do, always dedicate, if 5 times a week, if not every day, practice the piano. If you're doing it for 2 hours, for 1 hour, even 15 minutes, practice. I didn't do it.
Wow.
I mean, I'm pretty good with the piano, but if I had did what he told me to do, I would be really good.
You just like I said.
That's my point.
You should have continued.
Okay, but see, I had other things. See, one thing that Dr. Phil said a long time ago is he said, you can't ride 2 horses with one ass. You got to pick a horse.
That's something Dr. Phil would say. I love Dr. Phil. He's awesome.
You got to pick a horse and ride with it. So even though I wasn't doing dedicating a lot of time to playing the piano, I was dedicating more time to like audio production. So it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. But even the same token, when he said, even if you do 15 minutes,
it still counts.
It still counts. And the next thing you know, if I had did it, but see, a lot of people do this. A lot of people try something, it sucks, or a hater might get in their ear or their head and say, oh, that's whack, and they give up.
No, obviously we don't. Like I said, I'm the kind of person I never wave the white flag. Again, you and I do this. This is our show.
Right.
And then I do film stuff on the side, something that you don't do. You do music on the side, that's something I don't do.
Right.
So again, we're doing multiple things.
Right.
I'm also interning with my buddy to learn more because I'm trying to learn more too. Again, I'm still a filmmaker the way that's looked at. I'm trying to get better in anything and everything. That's the kind of person that I am. I can juggle more than one thing.
Right.
You're gonna have haters out there's gonna be like, oh well, it wasn't that good.
They'll nitpick.
Like this one we use for a prime example. One of the persons that we work with, she heard one of our episodes of our podcast. Well, I shut it off. I just didn't like it. Okay.
That's cool.
We don't care. It's not for you. Exactly.
It's not for you.
This is for somebody else that wants to heal.
Right.
Again, I don't care what other people says about my our show, because it's just not my show. It's our show. Yeah. I don't care about that. I don't care what people says about me doing films. I also like to act too. That's my thing. I took professional acting classes at the age of 17. So it's like I have that background. Again, I love to do what I love to do. Like I said, I do more than just one thing.
Right. But see, this is going out to some of the haters too. But see, there's a difference between someone like the woman. I wouldn't classify her as a hater. If she doesn't like it and it's not for her, that's cool, because we talk sports. So of course she probably
but we didn't talk about only sports. We talk about a whole thing.
But this is my thing.
But the thing is, she wants to get into it too. We did, but she's trying to get into the same exact thing that too. And the issue that I have is the fact is that since she's a little bit of a smart. And she thinks that she's all this and this and this and that. I'm not giving her anything more because of the fact is that you're a little bit ungrateful. Only reason why you're working there is because of I got you there, but you never said thank you. Then you give me a bunch of hard time when I ask you please to let me out one night. So she gave me a bunch of. So I'm like done.
Okay. So that might touch on what I'm trying to get to, but I do want to classify the two different types. So there are people who are just not going to like it because we talk sports. So if they're not into sports,
they're not going to like
they're
it.
just going to. But then you have people who they're haters. They just don't want to see you do anything good. They just want to.
They want to complain and just do negative stuff.
But this is my thing. This is the reason I brought up self-development. By you hating on someone else, how does that make you better?
It doesn't make you better. It makes you sound like, oh, well, because they're doing this. Okay. But then you could do something too if you would just not hate on somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. You're wasting your time hating on people. And this is just general, not just a one person, but in any arena. You would be wasting your time.
Exactly.
If I were to sit here and just be looking at, oh, look at him. He thinks he is the greatest swimmer. He sucks. That's wasting time.
Yes,
that's
it is. I'm not trying to laugh, but it's funny.
But that's
it's
what I'm
hilarious.
saying. I should be on my grind doing whatever I want to do because, like you said, we wear different hats. I love audio production. I grew up drawing, like at a very young age, but I got away from it. But I love writing music, all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You're good at it. Me, I suck at writing music. I can't edit audio to save my life. But that's when. Hey, I got my co-host that we work with each other. I'm more of a social media person that loves to put stuff out there and love creative buzz. You know, we all got our talents. We all know what we're good at.
Right.
At the same time, you shouldn't always hate on somebody else that's trying to do something that they love to do. I love doing this show. I love being a filmmaker. I love to act and stuff. I want to become a voice actor. I try to practice all the time. That's why you guys hear me do voices on here, just because that's what I want to do.
Right.
I know we got big dreams to do something, and I know that we can get there if we would just continue practice. That's what we're doing. When I first started doing this, I was nervous. Let me be honest with you.
Okay.
I was nervous doing this podcast, even though that you and I are the creators of the pod. It was my concept.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of your falling because you was like, ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah, let's try
we're both the creators of it.
Right.
It's just not me. It's not I. It's we.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
So it's all about going what you love to do and just blocking out the people that just want to bring you down and say that you can't do something. You want to surround yourself with positive people that wants to propel you up.
Yes. Now, to your point, so let's say that, okay, I am a rapper, but let's say I wasn't that great. Mm-hmm. And I know another person. This is real life because this actually happened. I met a person who was better than me. So when I came up and I started rapping, it was a small group in my neighborhood, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're good. Okay." And I was feeling myself until I met someone who was like polished, and I'm like, "Wow, this guy is really good."
But listen,
okay,
you definitely.
But let me finish.
I'm sorry.
So instead of hating and saying, "Oh, he's not that good," what I did was I got close to him. How do you? And I'm just feeding off of him. Long story short, I'm better than him now. And that's not by my own admission. This is other people telling me, like, we've seen the progress. Days I'm freestyling every day, back and forth to work, just rapping until the muscle memory. Now I can do it like it's easy. But see, that's what I'm saying. When someone is doing something that could warrant some hate, don't
feed into it.
Focus on yourself.
Exactly. So part of this podcast, of creating this podcast, that I want the listeners to understand is I like being great influence on other people. I strive for the people to do what they want to do. You and I do not like where we're working now. We want to be something better than that.
Everybody should.
Everybody should.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is this is our dream right here. This is what we want to do. So when I want the viewers and the listeners to get out of this is that don't let hate come your way.
Right.
Just disregard those people because they're always gonna nitpick. People like that is not going to change, but they're not going to go anywhere either because they're not going to put in the work. You put the work in. Sky's the limit.
Sky is the limit. But to kind of tail off of that, I wanted to also talk about loving yourself as a person.
That also comes into place too. But yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
So leading up to that, loving yourself as a person is knowing yourself. So when you try to fit in, and let's say you go to a party. No. Okay, let's say that someone invited you to a party and they said, "Oh, we're all going to wear this and this and this." And then you dress like that.
No,
That's
I
not
wouldn't.
you.
No, I would dress different. I don't care if I come in different. Like for example, when we had a Christmas party last year, I didn't want to come in dressed in a suit. That was just not myself. I know I was a little underdressed, but I didn't care because that's just not me. I am not a suit kind of guy. I know someday when I meet the right person and I do get married, I just don't like a suit. It's just
But that's you.
That's just me. Exactly.
That's you. And that's my whole point is we as people should live our truths. If I love comic books, I shouldn't be ashamed about
Exactly. You shouldn't be
loving
ashamed.
comic books.
I'm not a comic book fan, but I love like all these characters that we're talking about in the comic book world. I like seeing them on screen in
Right.
film. I do not sit down and take my time reading comics. That's just me. You might say, yeah, I love comics because that's your thing. But what I'm saying is, I'm not a rapper. I sing in my car. I get a little bit better now, and like I said, I can
the self-development.
basically
Keep doing it. Yeah.
I'm self-development. Again, I just do that just because I want to change I'm trying to change my vocals a little bit just because of I want to be a voice. Like I said, a voice actor. Give to original characters. So I'm just trying my best to practice any way that I can, and I practice in the house. I practice on my siblings. They don't like it because I like to when they like to complain about something. I told them it's like right. like try to get low to the voice. Like, that's not how I sound.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you sound to me when you get on my nerves. So it's like
right.
So I like doing stuff like that. I know I irritate my family and I irritate other people just because that's the way that I am. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. You have to own that.
I'm owning it. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care what other people think about me. It's
right.
So,
but that leads me to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm the type of person, okay, let me use this example. I had a girlfriend one time, and she really didn't have too many hobbies. She had a few, but not too many. So she took on all my hobbies. I like to watch basketball, so now all of a sudden she likes to watch basketball.
No, she should have been herself.
Okay, but this is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
I like rap music, so she started listening to rap music. So then what happens when we break up? Then she feels empty because she has nothing to fall back on. Everything that I guess made her feel
good.
Yeah, or her hobbies were actually mine. So now that I'm not with her, then she's going through this depression maybe.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's people have to understand the difference between just being in a relationship and really being in a relationship. Like when you love somebody, like you love their flaws, you love everything about them.
But we're all imperfection. Nobody's
we're all not perfect.
Yeah, no.
But some women, and it could be men too, but I'm just speaking from experience, and that's why I'm talking about women. There are some women who are in relationships and they're miserable. I mean, they hate it. So I'm like, why are you? Because that's all they know. So the husband could come home and call them all types of names.
Which I can't stand. That's a whole nother thing. No, I just can't stand that.
But that's what I'm saying. They can call them all types of names. The women can know they're being cheated on, find evidence, and just let it go.
Let it go. Or
because
they
don't
can be
think
abused,
they can find
like mentally and physically beaten up on by the boyfriend or husbands, and they won't never leave them.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, these people have not found their true purpose. They truly don't love themselves, because how can you love yourself and let somebody
treat you like you're worthless when you're not? Everybody is in my opinion
has worth.
It has worth.
Everyone.
Nobody has no death worth.
Right.
It's all about what's in it. The mind is a powerful thing, which is a fact.
What you think is what you are.
Exactly. And I never, again, with imperfection, like I just said, I try not to let the enemy come in my head and say, okay, you made this mistake. You made that mistake. Oh, you're going to do that again. Oh, you're going to do this again. You can't do that because it's going to drive you nuts, and you're going to. Like I said, I've been there. I have done that. Speaking from experience, where you think that and you're like, oh my god, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. It's taking way too long. Becoming a filmmaker, it's. I'm doing it, but I really want to do it like full time. Like,
you gotta calm those. You have to calm those voices. It's going to happen when it's it's going to happen when it happens. Again, you just keep doing it. You're going to get better. You're going to get better. Somebody's going to see it. Like with this right here, we're doing great. This is a great thing right here. This is something that, like I said, that we love to do. It's fun, great content. People love it. Right. But that's what I'm saying. I think our only issue is getting the right person to hear it. Because like you said, the content's good, we're passionate about it. It's just the listener. But what I'm talking about is the person who really doesn't have. They look in the mirror and like, I'm worthless. I don't have any talents. Everyone has talents, and everybody has the ability to be a genius within their talent. You have to put the work in. So what is it? The 10,000 hours? They say you have to put in 10,000 hours to master something.
Exactly.
Tiger Woods. You think he was just born with a golf? No, he was out on. Yeah, he was out.
What do you think about Tom Brady? If you know about his backstory, it was one of the kids. He was a kid, and somebody told him you cannot throw a football.
Told Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's a little boy. He's a kid. He's like probably 10, 13 years old. It's a little bit story. I'm missing out on a lot of details. I know I am, but it's like we're just scraping the barrel right here.
Yeah.
Well, somebody told me he could never throw a football. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Was it 6 rings?
Best quarterback of all time.
He's gonna go down in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make right here is he didn't let that person tell him that he cannot do it. Look at him now. Tom Brady is, I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I can't stand his sportsmanship. He needs to fix that. That's the only thing that I have an issue with Tom Brady is his sportsmanship. You lost to the Eagles. Suck it up. Shake Foles' hand. He deserved that. You didn't do that. You just walked to the field cry like a little baby. So I suppose the point is what I'm getting to is the fact is that Tom Brady got back up, shook himself off from that. Look at what he had accomplished, or what he is accomplishing still right now. Trying to play till he's 45 years old. You're starting to notice this year he's starting to wearing down.
But to your point, that's why I love Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan so much, because what they would do is when someone would say something negative to them, they would use that for fuel. Oh, you don't think I can? Let me show you. That's what I like. All that negative stuff, all the haters and everything. A lot of people.
Same hill. Like just like I said, some of my family members don't like the fact that I want to come to what I want to be coming to, just because they don't think that it's a good career.
But we use that for fuel.
Exactly.
And a lot of people really come down hard on Kevin Durant because they say he's soft. So I remember having this conversation with somebody. I said, "Oh, you think Kevin Durant's soft?"
Somebody said Kevin Durant's soft?
Yeah, they say he's soft because he's on social media, and then when some Joe Schmo who's living in the basement tweets something bad about him, he gets upset. What I said was, does that relate on the court? No, he gets on the court and he's dropping 35, 40 points on you. So no, he's not soft. He might be a little sensitive by defending himself. Like,
but I don't
people
think
come
he
on
should,
Twitter.
Though. I don't think he should, though. Everybody has a right to their own opinion.
They do.
But at the same time, is why is he letting that bug him, though? The fact is that you know that you're playing in a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to where you're at. You're making millions. Again, if I'm Kevin Durant, I don't give a crap what anybody's saying about me. I don't. They could blow my Twitter up and say, "Hey, you suck."
But that's
go out
my
on the
point.
court that night and drop 40, 50 points. Now what? And don't even say nothing. Just let that do the talking.
Right.
Let the court do the talking. You don't need to spaz out on them. You don't need to tweet them back and say, "Nah, brah." And then all of a sudden you guys get into an argument and you cussing at each other now.
But see, that's my point. Kevin Durant would be soft if he did that and then went on the court and gave you 12 points. Then you could say, okay, they got in his head. But no, he's busting your tail winning MVPs.
He shouldn't even say anything to those people.
I understand that.
They're haters.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is this: when you have that certain mentality like the Jordan and the Kobe's, they use that. They said Jordan would do stuff on purpose. Like he wants the popcorn man to piss him off before he gets on the court. That way he can bust their ass. He would do stuff like that. He would just irk people on. Yeah, piss me off. I want you to. Come on.
Another thing that you could use that for acting too. That's something that I like. So on set, like I said, is I like to, if I need to do something where I have to be really, really angry in the scene, I just, my business partner is my director, so I like to say, he was like, dude, come on now. Well, now you're really making me mad because now you're poking me. I don't like that.
But I also heard some actors, what they'll do is they'll go back, like Denzel Washington, I guess for a scene, if he has to cry, he'll just think about like a sad moment just to bring that emotion out so he can bring it to the...
That's why a lot of actors and actresses need therapy, because they open up old scars, maybe having to family. For example, I lost my grandfather 2 years ago, so if I had to cry in the scene, all I had to do is just pick something up of his.
Yeah.
And the emotion would come back. And I'm good.
Right.
So.
But to kind of bring this all together, because we're coming up from 49
Already?
minutes. And
wow.
Yeah, that was quick. I just wanted to say that us as people, we don't know how long we're going to be here.
Really?
So my nephew, you can learn something from everyone. But my
Yes.
nephew just went to the military, and he told me something one of his, I guess, officers said. He said, when you die, your tombstone's going to say from whatever year to whatever year. That doesn't matter. It's what you do in between. That's what matters.
That's
Yes.
he's right.
What you do in between. So I was born in 1980. So from 1980 to wherever, whatever I do in between there, that's what's important.
Exactly. Same. I was born in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and wherever there, I want to leave a legacy
Yes.
on something. And by helping somebody else out, by doing this podcast, I'm all for that. Somebody that's depressed, that's a serious
Yeah.
thing right there. I want people to hear this and be like, what? I am valued.
Yes.
And what I do. You can do anything you want
Set
to do.
your mind to.
Exactly. Like I said, growing up, I was at first I wasn't outgoing. I was so inside, but as I was getting older, I'm like, you can't do that. So I came out of my shell, and now I love talking to new people. I love meeting new people. I might not, like I said, I didn't know you, and when I started working there where we work, I started talking to you out of
Right,
nowhere,
right.
and then I got a chance to keep. That's just the way that I am. But like I said, is by doing this podcast, I would like to help somebody that's down, that's feeling that type
Yeah.
of way that can
Right.
bring them up, because of they are worth something, they are valuable. They just have to feel it. You just can't let negativity come in. I know it's easier said than done, because again, we're imperfection. That's all right.
Yeah.
Just get yourself back up, wipe the dust off, and say, I
Right.
got this.
But see, an easy way to find out what your purpose is what makes you happy, and then you try to make a career out of it.
Same,
even if it doesn't make you money. So I remember this one girl said,
not all
I
about
love
money.
kids. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's about
listen,
the love.
It is about the love. And people go out, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I help people out, it makes me feel good.
Same.
Even if I'm going through something, if there's a lady who's struggling with something and I help her and she's like, thank you.
Say, I got a story. I got a small story for you.
Okay.
Small story for that. I was at Walmart one night, and the lady was in front of me in line.
Okay.
True story, guys. I'm not BSing here.
Well, we don't do that,
No,
so come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was in line. She had like heavy cat food, and as I was walking out together, it was luckily that her car was like straight in front of mine. I think fate had something to do with that. And she and I was like, ma'am, can I help you with that? And I'm like, I just went in there and just grabbed it, picked it up, put it into a car. Then she was trying to give, and I'm like, ma'am, I don't need your money. She's like, you couldn't tell her nothing, so she made me take it. I didn't ask for money.
That's right. You did it off of the strength.
Yeah, I was not trying
to.
to get money out of that, but she gave me money. That was like, ma'am, you don't have to do that. I
Right.
did it because I wanted to.
But that's my point. So if, let's say you suck at basketball.
I do. I played basketball in middle school, but I love playing the sport.
I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general.
I got
Let's
you.
say you have no sports ability, you can't sing, and you can't draw. Who's to say you can't go out there and teach some kids some stuff?
Exactly.
Or help somebody with the garden? You need me to help?
I'll be honest with you. I sucked singing before, but people kept telling me, you can't sing. You sound like a cat on the tin roof. I still do it. I don't care.
Right.
My voice has developed a little bit better over years growing up. So I know I'm a little bit more better than I was probably 10 years ago.
Right.
But because I'm always in my car and I'm always putting music on, I'm always singing to it, because I know the lyrics by heart, because I hear it so much that it's muscle memory. But going to something like that, where somebody just says, "Oh, I'm not worth nothing. This person thinks I can't do this." You can make anything out of a career.
You can.
I love this. We're gonna go as long as we want. I don't want to keep doing this because of this is what I love to do.
Right.
I always want to do a podcast.
Right.
I just need to find the right person to do it with, and I found you,
Right,
which was
right.
a blessing, because of I got a chance to do something with somebody that I enjoy interacting with.
Right. But even being a good father or mother to your children, that's that has a lot of impact.
That does. That's also. It all starts with the mom and dads that has kids. I would say, you make your kids feel down like that because the mind, when they're young, the mind still got developed.
It's like they're clay. You get to mold them any way you want.
So what I'm pretty much getting at is the reason why some people are the way they are now is because of how they grew. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a poor upbringing. Okay, we're not going to discuss it. I don't want to talk much about it, but I'm just saying is, look at me now, though. Look at me now. I decided I'm not trying to make it sound by me, but I'm just trying to use my personal experience.
Dennis Rodman.
I'm trying to use.
Have you heard Dennis Rodman's story? Not to cut you off.
No,
have you heard Dennis Rodman's
not.
story? That's a perfect example when you can go through a whole bunch of crap and then come out and just.
That's what I'm saying is I'm not trying to make this thing about me because it's not about me. Yeah. It's about them. Yeah. I'm just trying to tell people out there what I went through and how I came up from. I decided at the age of 14, 15 years old, I want to be a different person than my dad ever was. My dad was not a good dad at all. He shouldn't. Even my mom, they shouldn't even have kids to begin with. But
thank God they did.
Yeah, obviously because I'm here, but it's the reason why I'm here. Yeah. So I'm like I said, when I have kids of my own someday, I am not doing it. I already made my mind up that I'm going to be the greatest father ever out there.
Right,
I know that I'm going to be the one that they can look up to and say, yeah, my dad was there. So as I say, all I'm trying to say is the point that I'm getting across is that you can do anything and you can come back from anything. It's no such word as can't.
Right.
Again, it even says capital G-O-D. That's love right there.
Okay, and we're going to end it with that. This has been episode 9 of Something Like a Podcast.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
And episode 10, Trust and Believe, it's going to blow your mind. So tune into that too. Peace.
Peace out.